look and read.
Leave the town behind, the traffic in the street. On the moor you'll find there's grass beneath your feet. Ponies running wild, badgers living free. Come on, city child, there's always something new for you to see.
Badger Girl by Andrew Davis. Chapter 1. Sounds in the Night. The small bus moaned and groaned up the steep road over the moor. "Look at that," said Kieran. "Real country this is. Great, isn't it, Debbie?" "You must be joking, mate," said Debbie, and popped her bubble gum. Kieran and Debbie had been picked by their school to go on a country farm holiday on Dartmoor. They hadn't been to the country before, and Debbie didn't like the look of it. What she liked was noise and people and crowds, chip shops and space invaders. And she couldn't see any of these things on Dartmoor. The bus stopped at the top of the hill. "Here you are," said the driver. "Out you get." So there they were, standing in the middle of nowhere, feeling a bit lost. Till at last a Land Rover came along. In the Land Rover were Mrs. Rudge, who owned the farm, and her son Mick, a big boy in a black leather jacket. "Hello," said Mrs. Rudge. "You must be Debbie and Kieran. Hop in then." "Look at her hair," said Mick, laughing. "A stripe down the middle, like a little badger. Hello, Badger Girl." Debbie popped her bubble gum. "A badger with bubble gum? What next?" said Mick. "Don't you mind him," said Mrs. Rudge. "He's always joking." She waved to a woman who was taking photographs of ponies. "That's Jane Miles, the photographer. She's promised to help with your projects." The farm was called Home Ridge. It was the only house for miles around. But Debbie soon felt better when she saw the warm fire and the big plate of cakes Mrs. Rudge had ready for them. There was another boy staying at the farm. His name was Norman. He had been there a week already, and he thought he knew everything about farms. After tea, Norman showed Debbie and Kieran round the farm and told them all he knew about cows and goats and sheep and lambs and chickens. Then Mick took them up onto the moor to see the wild ponies. Kieran tried to ride one, but it dodged him, and he fell flat on his face. "You can't ride these," said Mick. "They're not tame. I can see you kids are trouble with a big T." But Debbie could see how much he liked the ponies. He had names for all of them, and they stood still and let him stroke them. "See," said Mick, "you've got to be quiet and gentle." After supper, they sat by the fire, and Mick and Norman told stories about the beast of Dartmoor. "He's like a dog, but big as a lion," said Norman. "Kills sheep," said Mick. "Some people say it's a wolf," said Norman. Debbie and Kieran said they didn't believe a word of it, and Mick laughed. Then they went to bed. Debbie was so tired that she went straight to sleep. Suddenly, she woke up. It was very early, and something was creeping round outside. Something that snuffled and scratched round the walls. Maybe it was the beast. She crept out of bed. Then she tiptoed to the door, lifted the latch, and opened it.